Shooting that was the most confusing,
It was so much
random thrown together.
Well, Antonio Guzman from Cine Premier Mexico. Again, nice to meet you both. With Beetlejuice, you expand an acting career that from the beginning has been profoundly linked to horror and spooky narratives. Thinking about this 10-year career so far, what do you enjoy the most about horror movies, making horror movies, and what this genre has taught you to become a better actress?
I love screaming. I love being covered in blood. I love the sense of community on a horror set. The beautiful thing about horror is you can do anything and it makes sense because everyone's about to die anyway. So you could be funny, you could be sad, you could be romantic, you could be, it's just kind of, as an actor, you get to do so many things in a horror film and everyone kind of has an arc and that's very well established, which is really exciting. But the best thing about shooting on a horror movie is how passionate everybody is about the horror job. The people who are doing the special effects and adding the blood are horror fans themselves and love the movies and love the experience. So it just kind of feels like you're hanging out with a bunch of friends and you're just trying to outdo one another. And whenever the blood lands in the right spot or someone gives a really good scream, everyone celebrates it. It's a good sense of community and family there.
And Justin, well, when thinking about filmmakers who dive into nightmarish stories or fever dream worlds, two names that come to mind are David Lynch and Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Years ago, about your work with Lynch in Mulholland Drive, you said it was like entering a mysterious cloud and not knowing exactly where you're going. So working with Burton in Beetlejuice was kind of the same experience or entirely different?
No, you're right. They are similar in completely different ways. They obviously, anytime you're working with what I would consider, and I consider them both that, auteur directors, you kind of, there's a real liberation because there's an enormous trust in what they're doing, because they have such singular voices. And interestingly, at least with David, in David's case, when you work with him, the sets are very light, they're very fun, he is hilarious, and it almost is like you're making a comedy. It's only later when you see the film that you kind of go, holy shit, this is like a really, the sound design in his movies is incredible. The set design is also incredible. Similar for Tim, I had a very similar experience where when I saw this movie, it was way beyond what I could have possibly imagined it was going to be or how it was going to look, because I was only, we're all only seeing like little segments of the films that the parts of the film that we shoot. So when you see it all put together, you realize why they're such maestros,
Yeah, right.
What a good question.
Thank you. And in case of Burton, he loves to put dance sequences in his movies. Two of my favorites are from the original Beetlejuice. I mean the Theroux. That's one of my favorites. Gives me life. So in your case, do you have any personal favorites, dance sequences in Burton filmography?
Well, I might agree with you that Deo
is one of
performance
those
is
iconic.
insane. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
That's got to be the best one.
We have a similar dance sequence in this that's wildly different. It's a completely different mood, completely different song.
Shooting that was the most confusing,
It was so much
random thrown together thing that I think I've ever
It really
done.
felt like we were putting on like a play in our parents' living room. Like it was like, and then you'll do this, and then I'll do this, and then wait, what's happening? Okay, well let's just do it. And
5 minutes before we shot it, it's like, it looks good when you do that.
We'll do this, let's do this and this, and it was very fun.
The one in this movie is pretty serious as well.
It's pretty good, yeah.